Hey, good morning. This is Richard from Mile 62 channel. I'm out for a run. It's July 3rd. Hoping everybody's doing great. Beautiful weather. It's a little bit cloudy and it's supposed to rain later, so I'm trying to get out for a run. Well, let's go. Was planning to go out to Cat Springs, Texas, which is about 2.5 hour drive, and run the free race tonight put on by Trail Racing Over Texas. They have a race going on from 6-12 midnight. It's on the Habanero course, and I'm running the Habanero 100 in August, but it's supposed to be heavy rain today, so just decided not to do that. I've been out there many times and I know the course well, so I was just planning on going out there and filming a loop, doing a preview show for Habanero, but decided not to do it. Excuse me. I'm at Lake Georgetown. It's about 10-minute drive from my house, so it's very convenient. Anyways, what's been going on in your life, running wise? Let me know in the comments. For me, training is going well. I've been running almost every day, about 30 miles a week. Not as much as I'd like, but I been doing a lot of workouts in my home gym, on my road bike, and also doing a lot of weightlifting. So I got a little bit of different strategy this year. Doing a lot of cross training. I put on some muscle, getting a little bit stronger. I'm hoping that it will help me, especially in those last 20 miles of 100. What else is going on? Race news. Western States was last weekend. I watched about 4 or 5 hours of it. They had a great live feed. My predictions didn't go very well. I thought Jared was going to win the race. Basically, all my predictions were off. I thought Jim was going to DNF because of injury, IT ban, but I think he pumped that up too much before the race and tricked everyone, because his IT ban didn't bother him at all, and ended up smoking everybody by almost 90 minutes. Really amazing. There's such a stacked field, and he can do that to everyone. Some guys like Hayden Hawks did pretty good. I think his mistake was he ran with Jim for the first 50K. They'd been training some together, and I just beat him up too bad. He ended up getting, I think, 8th place. But what's amazing about the day is the women did so well in the race. It was really great. There's like, of the top 30, 15 of them are women, and there were 2 in the top 10. That's never happened before, not even close. And they didn't even have the top woman like Courtney DeWalter in it. Otherwise it would have been even more. I think the women planned better for the heat, paced themselves better. The men went out there and just completely blew up, like Ryan. I picked him to be one of the top guys. Ryan Miller, he's from Texas, he's used to the heat. Did so good in Bandera and great times. I mean, guy runs a 2:14 marathon, very similar to Jim Walmsley. And he blew up early in the race, had to drop out. It was a very interesting race. Saw some interviews with Jim Walmsley after since the race, and also podcast from Jamil and Skylar Hall. They talked to him after the race, and one thing interesting is, well, you know, Jim lives in Flagstaff, so it's hot, but he also does some extreme heat training. So not only is he running in the Grand Canyon, but what was told on Jamil's podcast is that he drove from Flagstaff to Squaw Valley, California, with his heater on high during the summer. Amazing. I've heard of people doing that, but to drive several states like that, supposedly he was just drinking carbonated water like LaCroix, just throwing them in the back, but drove out to western states with a heater on high. Very interesting. I mean, there are other pros which will go running with several layers of clothing, and Ian Sharman would put on a coat and go running. I've never heard of people spending a long period of time in their car with a heater on high. Seems pretty extreme, but it's working for him. I mean, he just also, because of his IT band issue, he was biking most of April, and then May he did like 5 weeks of training, running, and because he's coming off the IT band issue, and he's still able to go out and basically jog around western states and crush everybody. Now he's getting ready for UTMB, and he's going to back off a little bit because he's gotten a 5th before, and then he DNF'd the time after that. He overtrained, so he knows better this time. I think he's going to do well. But what's interesting is, I'm going to start my watch. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Every time I use a camera, I forget to start my watch. But I think Jim's gonna do good at UTMB this year. Oh, what I was gonna say is, in an interview yesterday with Kofuza, he said his IT band was bothering him a little bit on a recovery run. Isn't that weird? Can run 100 miles, balls to the walls, doesn't bother him. Goes on a recovery run a few days after Western States, and the IT band's bothering him again. So he's doing all kinds of special exercises and getting PT to work it out. He has to do a lot of maintenance and stretching before he goes on runs. I guess when you're a pro you can do that. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Basically doing interviews and exercising. But I'm very interested to see how he does it Western State, UTMB. Oh, he said he's going out to, in the meantime, he's going out to, I think Leadville area, Colorado, to do high altitude training. I mean, just get invert, not so much altitude. He's got altitude in Flagstaff. So he's gonna take it easy and focus on vert the next few weeks. Slow down for a second. Taking off my sunglasses. Too shady in here. Can't keep my eyes open for varmints coming out, you know, snakes and stuff. Too dark. Other thing in news is all these drama about doping in sports. We had Shelby Houlihan, which got a 4-year ban for a type of steroid. I forget the name, but the slang name is Deca. And she claims she got it from eating a burrito, because pig meat, pig organs, sounds pretty gross actually. Supposedly they use this steroids with the pigs so you get bigger. I've seen many interviews with her and her coach and all that. I don't know. My honest opinion is I believe her. I think she probably didn't know. But the rules are the rules, and she got banned. She was going to get a waiver to run the Olympic trials, and then the Olympic committee, well, the US committee for running said it was okay, and then the Olympic committee said no, you're not going to Olympics. So she wasn't in Olympic trials, which is unfortunate because I think she runs a 1500 and the 5000. Got a little bit of mud here. No, she probably would have won it, but she missed the Olympic trials, which a few weekends ago. It's really unfortunate, but she had this stuff in her system. You know, I really think they should improve the knowledge for the pros on all substances, and also improve the testing so they didn't catch people not doing anything wrong. We don't know. Maybe. I tend to believe her. I'll tell you a story. It's not in sports, but my mother, she's a nurse, traveling nurse, and she gets jobs at different hospitals for 3 months at a time, union busting, or places that are hard to find nurses. It's kind of her specialty. She went to the Northeast, somewhere in Massachusetts, and she took a drug test. She failed it. My mother doesn't do drugs or anything like that, and she was just floored. She said, how can I fail a drug test? Some other nurses online said, did you eat poppy seed rolls or anything with poppy seeds? She said, yes, I did the same day of the test. People online said poppy seeds, I guess, have the pop from the poppy plant, will make you fail a drug test. She didn't know that, but I guess some nurses knew that. She took it up with the hospital, and the funny thing is, or the shocking thing is, it's the hospital that served her the poppy seed rolls. It was in the breakfast. She had breakfast at the hospital, and they got tested later in the day. And since then, the hospital doesn't serve poppy seed rolls anymore, but still failed her and made her drive 1,000 miles back home, and she lost the job. At least that contract, she got another one. That's the interesting about the nursing field, is you can have all kinds of issues, and it doesn't matter. They need so many nurses everywhere, you can always find a job. But my point is, she failed the test because she ate poppy seed rolls. She didn't know that. They should inform all nurses about that, what foods not to eat. Same thing about these pro runners. Don't eat from a, as we call in Texas, a roach coach, because they might have lower quality food. A burrito with pig organs. Sounds pretty disgusting. But I think if I was a pro athlete, I'd be eating mostly vegetarian, very special foods. Maybe you buy from Whole Foods and other really nice stores. But I guess the pro runners, a lot of them don't make too much money, so I wouldn't be eating from a food truck. I think it's really unfortunate. Basically, it stopped her career. I mean, she's in her prime in 4 years. Can't race. I don't know if she'll get any appeals, but it's her word against theirs. And you know, she got banned in, I think it was May. Test was in December. She ate from the food truck in December. Anyways, I really feel bad for her, but she should have been more careful and know what's going on. And these running organizations should inform, have better training and study guides on what to eat, what not to eat, because testing is not perfect. We all know that. I'm running in my Clifton 7s today, can see, probably they're not a trail shoe, but they're very comfortable, and I've got my Injinji fin socks on. I was planning on running on the trail path around the dam, but I changed my mind. Thought that might be kind of boring for my video. But then let's continue our story about hello. Drop my sunglasses. Hello. Drop my sunglasses. Anyway, you should never hike by yourself. I hope they're hope they're together. Dangerous. I shouldn't be running by myself either, but I don't have many crazy friends like me that like to run in the forest, which is one of the reasons I never use pacers and crews. Just don't have many friends that care to do stuff like that. Plus, I have to do it on my own. But diversion, talking about the wrong thing. Anyways, what I want to talk about is the drugging. Now we have, I think the 400 meter, or it might have been 100 meter star. I think her name is Richardson. Probably butchering her name. Anyways, last week, well, Olympic trials, she made the Olympic team, had the fastest time, and now she got banned for having marijuana in her system. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Why is a pro athlete smoking marijuana? Well, in a lot of states it's legal. A lot of states it's not. I'm very conservative, live in Texas, so I'm not a big fan of it. But it's a banned substance. She shouldn't have been taking it. Shouldn't have been smoking it. And she got busted. Some people are kind of arrogant, think they can do whatever they want. The rules are the rules. People are online are raising all kinds of hell. It's legal. Why would you do this to her? Well, because in sports it's not legal. A lot of people don't understand the rules. A lot of things that are legal for the public are not legal in running and other sports. Got to follow the rules. I'll give you an example. CBD, which is made from part of the marijuana plant, doesn't have THC or very small traces of it. It's commonly used to help sleep, pain relief, just mood. I think those are the main things. I've even tried it myself. It didn't help me much. It just made me have some weird ass dreams. I still have some. Anyways, my point is CBD is not allowed in some sports. And CBD I think is legal in all states. I may be wrong, but it's legal in Texas, so it's probably legal everywhere. And I know in triathlon, one top pro, that's getting kind of muddy. I might turn around soon. One top pro got suspended because tested it on race day and had CBD in her system. And she's like, well, CBD's legal, but triathlon, I think they allow you to take CBD, but you can't have it in your system on the day of the race. So I think the half-life of CBD is not very long. So if you take CBD a few days before a race, it's not going to show up in your system. But I think the day before, day of, shouldn't be using CBD. So that's my point. It's legal everywhere. Still not allowed in sport. Just like some over-the-counter medicines like sinus medicine, stuff like that. That stuff's banned from race day because it makes you breathe better. You know, you can buy that at Walmart. But if you catch it on race day in your system, you could lose the race. Anyways, rules are the rules. I think that everybody should follow him, and that's my feeling about that stuff. What else is going on? Well, 4th of July is tomorrow. No big plans for me. We'll just watch some fireworks in our neighborhood. Our subdivision, fireworks are not allowed, but still a lot of people shoot fireworks, so we can always see some. My YouTube channel is going pretty good. I got, I think, 86 subscribers. Starting to gain some momentum. I've changed the focus of the channel a little bit. Not just trail running. I'm doing some weightlifting stuff, shoe reviews. I did a video on Huel, which is a weight loss product that I also use to help maintain. So kind of focus on a little bit bigger audience. I may also cover some obstacle racing, high rocks. I really like that stuff, and there's a lot of it in my area, and I want to participate in a high rocks race. It's kind of like obstacle course, but you're not climbing any bars or anything. My upper body's just not where it needs to be to do obstacle racing, or at least not Spartan racing. Because I'd like to do a Spartan trail race, but the rigs and stuff you have to climb across, I'm just not at that level yet. But the high rocks race is a little bit different. They're inside big auditoriums. They have a running element, ski RG, which I have one in my garage, and then sled push, lunges, heavy wall balls. Those are all things I can do. So I've been wanting to do one of those. They had a big race in Dallas, and I think they have another one coming up soon that I'm gonna try to get involved in. But really enjoying the weightlifting. It's good cross training for running, but I also just enjoy going in the garage and weightlifting when it's not a good day to run, or I may be beat up from running. Because for so many years, last 20 years, I've just been running basically. My legs are really strong and built up, but my upper body's been lacking, and I think that's hurt me in the long races. Some of my DNFs have been because of my lower back, and just, you know, strength, body strength gives out. My ability to run is never an issue, or hike. I can power hike in the last 20 miles, but that DNFs, especially like a Houlihan 100, were related to my lower back. And some of the races don't allow poles like Houlihan 100, so I really had a big problem. And I've had lower back issue some races like Rocky Raccoon, but I had a pole, so I was able to finish, support myself, keep moving pretty fast, kind of like power hiking the last 20 miles. But if you don't have poles, you're kind of in a shit out of luck. This is a more technical section here. Look, I have an Habanero 100 coming up in August. It's coming up pretty close, actually, a month away. That's a high heat, kind of smooth trail, 10K lap, 10K loop. So you do the loop 16 times. It's really tough because the race starts at high noon, and it's usually above 100 degrees. So you run 6-7 hours in high heat. I usually just try to take it easy. I've done many races out there, and 100K, 50K. I've never done the 100 miler. I've done the 100 miler in the same course during October. That's called Jalapeno 100. but I have not. Nice creek. I haven't done the Habanero 100. So it's a tough race because you're going to be in the heat 2 days. So you run all night, and then you have to run in the heat again on the second day. Then beginning of October, I have Arkansas Traveler. Never been out there before. My brother, his wife are runners. They live near there. Mother lives out in Arkansas, so looking forward to that. But that's a race, a lot of jeep roads and some trails that go through the Ozarks. Ozarks are mountains. Texas, we just got big hills, but some real mountains in Arkansas. So interested to do that. So that's kind of my A race of the year, my most difficult race of the year, I think. They only got like a 50% finish rate. But then again, so does Habanero. Then probably my easiest race of the year, 100 wise, is in December. Brazos Bend. It's near Houston. It's usually colder or cool. And it's in a park, it's a flat trail, but a lot of gators and stuff running around. It's kind of funny. Interesting place. Yeah, it's kind of a long rocky section of the trail. It's pretty today though. It's not too hot because it's cloudy right now. I guess it's probably 85 degrees. I should have worn my trail shoes if I was doing this course though. Well, anyways, Cliftons are hanging up, are holding up. I was watching an interview with Jim Walmsley. He said he recently did a 50K in road shoes, so road shoes can do it. Just like you can use trail shoes on the road. I do sometimes. I wish there were more ultras during the summer. There's some trail races. People say, well, it's too hot. There are a lot of parts of the country it's not too hot. But if you go on ultra sign up, it's very little to do during the summer months. In Texas, we have some night races. Captain Carl's series. They start at 7 p.m. and go have 30K, 60K. I've done those races before. I've got to a point, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to do same races over again. There's just too many out there, too many races out there to try. So that's my thought process. So I want to start doing some more races, maybe in other states. Really interested in running in Tennessee, Georgia. There's some really cool races out there. Like No Business 100. It's in Tennessee. I thought about doing it this year, but it's the same time as Arkansas Traveler. I want to do Cruel Jewel. That's a tough one because, well, it's a tough race. But my point is, it's the same weekend as my son's birthday, so that's a no-go. I'm hoping the calendar will move enough so that my son's birthday, at least in a few years, my son's birthday will be kind of in the middle of the week, and then I can do it. So we'll see. Really like to do Cruel Jewel. I know it's a tough one, masters level type ultra, but heard it's put on. They do a good job, and you can get a belt buckle. It's almost the size of a plate. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. what other races I'd like to do? I'd like to do Penhody, which is also October, November time frame. That's in Alabama. So there's a bunch of races in the south that I want to do. And there's some up north I'd like to do too. Like Ohio, Minnesota area. Some cool races. And then once we get past this pandemic stuff, I'd like to do some races in Europe. Of course, I want to do UTMB. I'm at a point now where I can qualify for it. And I'd like to do some extreme races too. Once I get even in better shape. Maybe like the Spine race in UK. It's a real tough race in the winter time. And there's also some very tough winter races in Minnesota, Canada, Alaska that I'm interested in trying to do. Some of them you have to kind of pull a sled, carry all your stuff. I think it'd be a very interesting challenge. And then a little bit later in life, I'd like to do a Iditarod in Alaska. That's way out, maybe 4 or 5 years from now. I think that would be really cool. And I'd like to do it by running. Iditarod you can do by fat tire bike and running and dog sled. Those are kind of races. I think they have a 500-mile one or a shorter one, 300-mile. You have to do that before you can do the long one. But it takes you a week to do the race, and then you got to get up there and logistics and all that. So you're looking at taking off at least 2 weeks, and it's kind of expensive too. But those are kind of graduate courses races, extreme endurance races. I'd like to do some of them. Let's stop a second and drink some water. That's my plan. Let me know what your plan is. Any big races coming up, let me know in the comments. Feel free to drop me an email, runnerrwe@gmail.com, if you'd like to be interviewed or do some collaboration on something. I'd love to do it. Yeah. Like I said, I'm always looking for more friends to do things with, ultra-wise. Whether it's partnering on the YouTube channel or doing something local, training, or doesn't have to be trail running, can also be road running or cycling, weightlifting. I like to learn about all of them. Keep things interesting for myself and also for my viewers. A lot of good shoes coming out. The Saucony Endurance Pro 2, I think. I want to get that road shoe. It's really good. But what's interesting is they came out with a trail shoe, and some of the big YouTubers, which you get it ahead of time. I think I'm gonna turn around here. Nice little screen. Some of the big YouTubers that get it ahead of time have said that it's a dog. Very heavy shoe, doesn't breathe. So you can't just assume because their road shoe is really good that their trail shoe would be really good. But everybody's saying don't buy it. That's the power of YouTube and checking things out, because if you were a trail runner and you do road running and you like the Saucony Endurance and Endorphin Pro, which is one of the best shoes out there, you know, up there with the Nike zero shoes and stuff like that, you would think it'd be a good shoe, but it's a dog. Everybody's saying that. And but there's some other new trail shoes that came out. I haven't worn Nike since I was doing road running, and it's probably been more than 5 years, 6 years since I've worn Nike. I wore Nike for a long time, but I had plantar fasciitis issues, and Maybe I wasn't just strong enough then. But once I gave up Nike, my problems went away. I started wearing Ultra, Hoka. Anyways, Nike's come out. You know, they got the Tiger shoe, which kind of looks kind of interesting. But I saw a couple of reviews today. They come out with a Pegasus 3 Trail. They've only got 3 trail shoes, or 3 main trail shoes. Pegasus 3 Trail is a new one, and it looks really good. And they say it's very comfortable. Might be something that I might try to toss up a little bit instead of just wearing Ultra and Hoka all the time. Because like even with the Cliftons I've got on, a little bit narrow in the forefoot for me. I have to wear my thinner socks with them. Wear thin socks with them, like the road version of Injinji. I have no problem. But if I wear normal socks, which I thicker Nike socks, I can't wear them with the Hokas. They hurt my feet. But same thing with Solomon. I can't wear Solomon shoes. There's some other shoes out there I want to try out. I want to try out a Atreyu for road. The interesting thing is Atreyu is actually headquartered here in Austin, Texas. Very interesting looking shoes. I want to try those out. People say they're very comfortable. They don't make a trail shoe. And what are some of these other ones? La Sportiva, too narrow. Never been able to wear their shoes. But there's some new Hoka shoes that came out I want to try. I'm hoping that I've been wearing Olympus as my main trail shoe. I wear the Temp and the Lone Peak as well for training, but when I race I always wear Olympus, or most of the time. But they had the Olympus 4 out for a while, and it came out with new Lone Peak, new Temp, but nothing new on the Olympus. I'm hoping they'll come out with a new version soon, because I need a new version. I mean, I need a new shoe. My Olympus I have has a couple hundred miles on it. I really need to get a new pair before Habanero. Well, let's see. I'm really seriously going to try that Nike Pegasus 3, because many years back that was a shoe I wore. Wore the Air Stab for a while. Some of their light shoes, light foam shoes, and I wore the Pegasus for many years. And it's interesting they came out with a new shoe. The guy's trying them on. I forget the name of their YouTube channel, but they're one of the big ones, and they're always very honest. And they say it's pretty good. Let me know what kind of shoes you prefer and what you like to wear. Jim Walmsley said in his interview that he's sticking with the Evo Speed Goats. Looks like that's what he's going to wear in UTMB. But he's also wearing the Mafate Evo Mafates. That's what he won Western States back in 2018. Still wearing those. He said on the road he likes the Carbon X2, and he also is wearing the Cliftons. That's the first time I ever heard that he's wearing Cliftons. But he didn't wear any of the other Hoka shoes. Those are the only ones he wears. Kofuza was asking him about it. I think it was a good interview. Kofuza was asking him questions that most people don't ask him, because Kofuza's channel is mostly for running shoe reviews and stuff like that. So I thought that was a good interview. I learned some new things, and I've probably seen 20 plus interviews with Jim Walmsley. Maybe someday I can interview him if I get a chance. He used to not do interviews, but he's been doing a lot of interviews lately. I think Hoka has been asking him to do that, because in the past he didn't do that. It's very rare. I mean, he wasn't even, I mean, in the past he wouldn't even get on Ginger Runner, and they interviewed him recently. He had to, only a few places he would interview with, but he's interviewing a bunch of people now. So if he comes to Texas, I'm going to try to interview him. I don't usually interview pros, but I'm a big fan of Jim's. I feel bad about betting against him at the Western States. Shouldn't have done that. Learn a lesson than that. He definitely knows what he's doing. Yeah, it's getting hot now. Humidity's pretty high because it's been raining some here and there, and the Texas heat's coming out. It's not near as hot as it was this past week. It's supposed to be raining pretty heavy later today, so I'll be in the gym, saving that part of the day to lift weights and just take it easy. Maybe work on some videos. I'm going to be doing a maintenance video soon. I've got all kinds of massage tools and stuff. I'm going to show off some of those. But I'm enjoying it. Anything you'd like to see, send me an email, runrwe@gmail.com, or put questions in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Excuse me. Drink a little bit of water. I need my allergies. Something aggravating my throat. This is a nice trail though. Surprising it's Saturday and not many people out here. I mean, we saw those 2 people early on, but haven't seen anybody in a while. It's not that early either. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. But like I said, if you have a YouTube channel yourself and would like to do some collaboration, drop me a note. I don't use Facebook or Instagram anymore. I'm giving them up. It just takes too much time and I wouldn't get much out of it. But you can send me an email or send me a message on YouTube or on Strava. My Strava link is on my YouTube channel. I use Strava heavily. I think it's an underused tool by many people. I mean, because it's got all serious people in there. I mean, people who are commenting on Strava posts, I mean, really care about their endurance life, as I say. And that's who I want to hang out with and talk about things, collaborate with. The serious people who are serious about health. And I mean, you don't have to be a runner, you can be a cyclist or anything. I don't care what you do. It's just, I like sports and like to talk about it. But anyways, if you enjoy my videos, promise I'll keep getting better. I've been learning a lot. If you look at some of my first couple videos, they were not that good. Kind of terrible, actually. I'm getting better at editing. I don't do a lot of editing, especially on these kind of videos, vlogs, but I'm using 4K now. So I think the audio and visual content is much better. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. Please suggest it to your friends, because I'm still trying to gain traction on YouTube. It's real tough when you first get started, you know. But I'm having fun. Not too worried about it. I know it'll grow as I keep putting out good content. And but please subscribe and comment on my videos, even if it's negative feedback, positive, negative. I like to learn, so if it's something that I can improve on, please let me know. And some people have. If you've been watching some of my YouTube shorts, some of them have been very successful. My weightlifting ones, I've got one that's got over 14,000 views, where I was doing the Stallone challenge, and some weightlifters really gave me a hard time they say, well, one guy even called me a jackass. He says, you're not using 45-pound plates. And I put in the description that I was not. I was using 10-pound plates, large plates. My plates don't have a grip like some plates. Some people doing the challenge with small plates with open hole where they can grab it with their hand. So my grip strength has to be stronger. And I put in the description, I probably could do 15. I just don't have that size. But some people posted some pretty rude comments. But then I got, majority was very positive. So kind of comes and goes. But they say when you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, positive and negative comments are good because it helps you get picked up by the algorithm. So I don't mind, I learned it from it. I was doing some kettlebell routine and some experienced coach told me I did part of it wrong. I'm glad they did. I don't want to injure myself. I'm still new to weightlifting. I consider myself more of a runner. But as I dig deeper into weightlifting, I want to do it right. Because I kind of focus on like powerlifting, not bodybuilding, powerlifting. But let me know how you handle that. I mean, I could have wrote something rude back to them, but I was like, you know, they took the time to write something. You know, maybe some people are just being mean. You'll notice that some of the mean comments come from people with no name, nothing on their channel. And maybe they just go around doing that all day. That's fun for them to put hate comments. I don't know. I was listening to another podcast, really big podcast, and they were talking about this issue. And hey, how's it going? Good, man. How are you? All right. Anyways, I listened to a big podcast, and they were saying he never replies negative to stuff like that because, well, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. That's for one. But he said something that was very interesting. He said, you don't know what's going on in their life. They could be sitting in the emergency room while their mother is having surgery and they're playing on YouTube and they're very angry. Or they could have lost their job. Or maybe somebody died in the pandemic. That really makes sense. So I'll never reply to hate comments. I won't recognize them, but I won't even. Now if somebody puts something pornographic or tries to, you know, sell something, scamming or something, I'll hide their comment. But hate comments, I just leave them alone, because like the guy said, you don't know what's going on in their life. And you know, these are tough times. A lot of people have lost their job, and I listened to one guy that had lost 3 people in his family to COVID. That's terrible. I was very lucky. We had a few people get sick in my extended family, but nobody died or even went to the hospital. I can't imagine. So if my videos inspire you or make you happy, or you just like to look at the scenery, let me know. Let me know in the comments, as I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. It means a lot to me. I hear people at the lake. My family's at the lake right now, playing in the water. We're headed back that way. That's weird how some parts of the trail are muddy and some are not, because these are exposed sections, but so they shouldn't be muddy. Some places are very dry. You know, if there's a lot of tree cover and there's a spring, I understand, but some parts of the trail, it doesn't make sense that they're muddy. At least not to me. But I'm glad I came out to the lake today. It's been a nice run. Hope you enjoyed talking with me or listening to me. But I'd like to hear from you. Send me an email, runnerrw@gmail.com. Hit me up on Strava. I'll go down here to the lake a little bit. Or send me a message in the comments. Not many people out on the lake today. Kind of windy though, maybe too choppy. Oh, there's somebody pulling a inner tube. Beautiful day. Jet ski. I've been thinking about buying a jet ski. We live very close to the lake. Oh, this is a beautiful view here. You can see the dam over there. Unfortunately, the GoPros are not very good for zooming in. Beautiful day on the lake. Okay, let's head back. Not many flowers out in this area. Okay, here's the trail. We're back on the trail. The Cliftons are hanging out pretty good. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Starting to see some people. It means we're getting close to the trailhead. People don't usually go out very far. Hello. Only us crazy trail runners go out far. It's a nice day, it's just hot, getting hot. It would be impossible to come out here and run during the afternoon. It'd be way too hot. Hiking would be pretty good, or rucking, as I like to do. I might go rucking tonight. Like I said in my rucking video, I have a Go Ruck, speed ruck as they call it. I have a 20-pound plate and a 30-pound plate. That's really a good exercise. Different kind of conditioning for your body. Always putting weight on your feet. But I find it's real good when it's real hot. If it's too hot to run, it's great for rucking. Kind of simulates like military hiking. But it's very doable. Just running is really tough. Because unless you have aid stations, running trails like these in the high heat, it's kind of tough. A lot of roots out here too sometimes. Running out here at night would be kind of tough. A lot of jagged rocks and stuff. I guess that's why they don't have any racing out here at night. Army Corps of Engineers. You can see the dam there. Army Corps of Engineers doesn't allow it. There's only some day races on this loop trail they call the Goodwater Loop. Come down here near the lake. Free shot. Very pretty shots of the lake. Well, this is Richard, and enjoyed the run today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk. Hope you have a great 4th of July weekend, and enjoy your run. Stay tuned for more videos, and please subscribe and like my videos, comments. I appreciate it. Take care.